be Robin Hood.
Okay, well, I didn't know, I mean, that's why.
We can go into more depth on how that.
Anybody else have anything?
I really didn't want to come in front of city council again over the same issue. The reason why I look the way I do right now is because I'm fixing flood damage on my house, caused by the issue on Robin Hood Lane. The issue that is on the agenda, that all of the work has been done to get it to where it needs to be taken care of, and yet, when I came in front of you a couple of months ago, I told you that I was going to flood if it wasn't taken care of. And it hasn't been taken care of, end result, I flooded. I would urge you to turn this into an emergency situation so that it doesn't happen the next time we get 4 inches of rain. Because that's all it takes after we got some rain down there for that entire basin to fill up. All it is a retention pond, guys. Look at the very definition of a retention pond, and that is what it is. So please, show a little bit of urgency on this issue and let's get it taken care of. Okay?
I'm also on Robin Hood Lane, and I just wanna say that, we're doing our part, we're cleaning out our ditches, we're pulling out, everything, so it's not like it's our ditches blocking it, it's something else. And so I just wanted to let y'all know that, like, we are all doing our part to make that happen.
Oh, I drive by there, I know no one's keeping their ditches dirty or anything. I
Yeah,
mean,
we're
I
definitely
agree
pulling,
with
I
that
go down the
100%.
road and pick up trash with, my picker, cause there's always, but I pick it up, so I just wanted to let y'all know that's definitely not the problem.
Oh, I agree.
Alright, thank you.
Anybody else? Okay, old business. Consider approval or other actions regarding the minutes of the regular council meeting held August 20th, 2019, and special call meeting of August 29th, 2019, and September 5th, 2019.
Make a motion, we approve the minutes as submitted.
I'll second that.
We got a motion for, we got a second. All in favor?
Now,
All
Aye.
opposed? Motion carries. Okay. Next item is consider financial, court, technology, and building security code enforcement and other July, August monthly reports.
make a motion to approve. I'll second.
We got a motion for. We got a second. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries. A little bitty item here. Discuss, consider quarterly investment reports.
I'll make a motion that we accept the quarterly investment reports.
Second.
We got a motion for, we got a second. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries. Okay, let's see. Discuss and consider an ordinance establishing drainage regulations.
I make a motion, we approve the ordinance.
I seconded.
All in favor?
Aye.
All
Aye.
opposed?
Nay. This thing needs some work.
It's a start. Yeah.
And it was brought up last meeting that we at least have something to bring to this one.
Yeah.
Yeah, but this one needs some work.
It's a start.
I've gone over by the engineer, so made some changes to it.
We had, we also had a gentleman out here help us to stand up. You helped us on the drainage committee and we had to get something started on this thing, just try to get
No,
something.
I agree, and it is a start, but there are a lot of things that we need to put in on
Right,
this.
right.
This last flood, if it taught us anything, it taught us exactly which direction the water is going.
Right.
Now, I do have a plan in order to fix the issues that we have running down Stephen F. Austin. And I'll be happy to submit that to the Drainage Commission at our next meeting.
Next meeting, we're gonna.
And it'll be a lot more detailed than what we already have right now.
Right.
I've done the civil engineering for 2 different sections here. I know what it says, I know what needs to be done. I would be very happy to talk to you, Corey, and go through the whole thing, go through the mathematics of it so that we can be on the same page on this. Because we have issues now that we have to deal with, but the primary thing is gonna have to be Robin Hood Lane. And that's already noted on there.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But
that's
the
on
problem
next.
is to get it done before we get the next drain out.
Right.
Because I'm tired of continuously fixing my house. I really am. You know? So, and I agree with you, Terry, there is some more meat that needs to be put on the bones there. But I think that can be handled at the next meeting and brought up again at the
Right.
next council meeting. I would recommend that we approve what we have right now and, put more meat on the bones for the next meeting.
Thank you.
Okay?
Yeah.
Thank you, Joe.
We already had a motion and a second.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
All opposed?
Oh, we already voted on it.
Yeah, Nate,
Yeah, we
yeah.
already did.
Yeah, we did.
Yeah, we did.
I don't know.
We didn't bring the big thing, we got a big, oh,
No, we didn't. Do we
It's in
need
the
to bring it?
back.
Where is it? It's right in the office.
If you wanna go ahead.
Okay, next item is discuss, consider drainage improvement projects and recommendations from the drainage committee.
For the past 2 months, myself, Mr. Glenn, Mr. Schweitzer, Mr. Tillwell, and other Mr. Thomas have been getting together, and we've been looking at our problem areas in Jones Creek, which is all over. And we've came up with 3 priorities. Number 1 being Robin Hood, number 2 being Stephen F. Austin, and number 3 being the Terrace. We've made a checklist of things we need to get done. And the county is trying to get to some of these, and it's just not, can't just drop what we're doing, but we're trying. Other than that, that's the recommendations we have.
there's, you can see the different colors or the different sections of the areas that we're working on.
We've split it into 4 parts.
Four parts, yeah.
The Terrace is one, the north side is one, and then you have, Stephen F. Austin, the 304, and then 304 to the other end.
Right.
Each different spot, and we tried to pick the worst ones out of each section, so we're working on it.
I just wanna add to this that I believe that East Stephen F. Austin, Frontier Lane, and North Live Oak were not included in this because they're getting the CDGB
Yeah.
money
Yes,
to fix
they
that.
already
So I
have
just wanted
their-
to be out there
yes.
that
Right,
that
right.
is being taken care of, and that's why it's not part of
Right,
these
right.
priorities, or else it would be up there on your list.
You're part of the committee, do you wanna say something? Go ahead.
Well, I know what we need to start doing Monday is, 'cause I agree with, I understand his frustration, because he's been up here for, I understand it 100%, is that Monday, I understand that we don't have the great all, we don't have the deal doing, but we've been talking about it, we've been knowing the need to get it done, we got everything okay to get it done. We're just going to just steadily call and email and say, look, this is a priority 1 thing to get done, and see if we can't get something done on that.
I don't know if the drainage district was able to get out there today, but they were supposed to start replacing that cattle panel that's at the end of Robin Hood
Right.
on his entrance.
Also, we've talked to the people that's working with Rocky, his people, and they said they would offer to contract some work out for us too.
Well, our main thing is we need to get them culverts squared away over there.
Yeah.
That's.
The culverts are a big problem, but the outfall is the bigger problem.
Yeah, that hump right there.
There's a big hump right at the edge of the culverts at that fence.
I understand that, Terry, but if you took the culverts out and took care of that hump that is right there, it
That
would
would
drop
just-
the water level down.
And that would just
3 or
take
4
care of
inches.
that right there at the S-curve. But when it was raining real bad, there was water, the ditches were full on both sides.
I can't agree with you more. But what it would do is it would drop the water level enough to where it didn't get into the house.
And I agree, but it would put that water back on the people in the back. So you gotta start from the back, and then,
Don't we have the back cleared out on that back road going there? Didn't we do that?
We just did the front Hood Lane ditches. The outfalls, we didn't have permission to do at that time.
and it's just the fence line, and that's what's holding a lot of water back. There's a lot of trash, grass built up.
Can I ask where the flow goes from Primrose? Because like he said,
It
this last
kinda
rainfall.
splits. Whenever you
my
get
side-
a,
Our side, the side from,
Mhm.
our house would have flooded this last time if we would have had weep holes in our house, because we literally had water all the way to the bricks. We've never gotten water like that. You can ask my neighbors that have lived here a lot longer than I have, and they said it has never gotten like that ever.
We got a lot of
It
rain
was
that day.
bad.
Yeah.
It was bad. It made it, all the drainage down there from 36 made it to our house faster.
Mhm.
And it was just, there was nowhere for it to go.
Also, we're talking with the clerk can back me up on this, we were talking to the, wildlife refuge people about putting another low water crossing, which if it wasn't for that low water crossing, I think we would have more issues.
Yeah, cause me and,
It
my
it
dad
looked like,
drove out there
it
and
looked
that
like the
water was,
Guadalupe River flowing through there.
it was moving out through
Flowing
there,
so
so.
far.
That's a plus side, but we're also, we're hoping that the box culverts, but
Is
the
that
rain.
the, right where that cattle gate is, or is it?
Yes, ma'am, where that flow gate is, that's where we'll put
To
that
let more
in.
water go through and get it out.
Anything else?
And there is a lot of work we haven't been seeing, that you can't see from the road that's being done, especially out in the wildlife refuge too.
Yeah, I know what they're
Which is,
doing.
if you ever drive, we drive out there pretty regular with Corey and with Rocky. And, there's been a lot done out there that people, we don't see. And, we are trying, we are trying, and I understand his frustration too, because I drove around and seen it too. It's,
Just when it gets dry enough, it rains again.
yeah.
One thing. So what about the south side ditches on Stephen F. Austin? So if you put in the box culvert so that all the Primrose water hits that south ditch, I mean, in front of on Blue Bonnet by the school, the water was running from Stephen F. Austin south into my mom's yard. She had a foot of water in her backyard, and we had, 18 to 20 inches in the very back. And there's not a ditch back there. It's still too wet to even walk
So the
through.
water's coming off of
Stephen F. Austin
going down Blue Bonnet.
down Blue Bonnet.
I mean, you can look at the ditches there, the water was just high, and that's why that water.
Well,
went
but
there.
it doesn't go toward, that water's supposed to be flowing to Stephen F. Austin is
Yeah,
the
when the
thing.
water gets so high, it's gonna go wherever.
But it doesn't, at no point in the level does it go to Stephen F. Austin. Ever. It never
Well, I
goes there. It's that's my point. It's like, the more you do work that's gonna, like the box culvert to Primrose, it just makes everything on the south side, it's gonna be harder to go. Like, we have no outfall. Our
We
water
were
doesn't
standing
go
out
anywhere.
there, you drove by, we kind of flagged
I've got
you down,
video
but-
of it. It's there's like nowhere for it to go. The only place that it goes is into our
And
yard.
if we dug the ditches, it would be worse, I'd say that.
So there's no solution for that?
I mean, until we get Stephen F. Austin to it. And that's number 2 on the list.
We have a plan, we're just trying to get to the plan to get it done, that's what we set up the committee for,
And
and we're
that
trying
box
to make
culvert's not
progress.
just
We've
for
made some progress, we're just.
Primrose.
gonna take
Well, it's
off.
to drain everything that's north of
What it
the
is,
road,
is
right?
That state ditch that they cleaned out, that water's coming down so fast, the water from Blue Bonnet, it's kinda slowing down, so hopefully with that box culvert, it'll pick up the pace a little bit.
Right. Is there a hope that at some point, like what's happening right now, that we'll not have standing water building mosquitoes, or is it just always gonna be standing water? I understand the goal of preventing catastrophic flooding, but is our end goal going to be to where when it does rain 2 inches, that 2 inches doesn't just sit in a ditch?
I mean, eventually, once we get it dug,
There's always gonna be standing water in ditches. I mean, you're right. I think the last time it rained, I drove all wherever I could until my knee got done the rain before this one. And I went to Lake Jackson, I went to Missouri, I went to West Columbia, I went to Angleton. And we're not the only person that had water in the ditches. Everybody had water in their ditches. I mean, if I had $10 million, you can put a big old pump somewhere and get it gone somewhere, I mean, I would. We don't have the money for that. But I mean, there's always, when you get a rain like we got, you're always gonna have water in the ditches. I mean, driving my house right now, I've got the same thing that she's talking about in my backyard. I mean, I got a pond back there, but it can't go nowhere. But I mean, it's been like that since I was a kid. There's nowhere for it to go yet or anything.
Unless you raise
But I
the
mean,
property.
it's just, we're working on it, and I mean, I know everybody's, gripe about it, and I do understand it, but, if we had millions of dollars to do something with, I mean, it'd be a different story. But I mean, we just gotta figure out how to get the water out of here with what we got and everything. I mean, we gotta do the small things we can get done and try to eliminate some of the water around the houses and get that part done and just work from there. I mean, that's all we can do until we get something else done.
Go ahead, you wanna talk?
I'm just part of hearing, so I understand a little question.
So what are we gonna do now to get this plan? What is the next step? Are we
To
going
approve it.
to, we need to
well,
approve
it
the
don't really
plan?
need to be approved. That's just,
It's
that's
basic-
showing basically what the drainage board is doing.
Yeah, the drainage committee.
And bringing it to the council so they know.
So,
'Cause that
can
was
we
brought
put this
up.
out for bid to be looked at so it gets done?
I mean, we could, I guess we'd have to talk about that next drainage meeting,
Yeah.
and then we can bring it to the board.
Because not that I don't want the county to do the work, but as Mr. Schweitzer says, I mean, it's
And we have been
an
talking
emergent
to
situation that
subcontractors.
we kind of need to move on, and if we have money now to work on drainage, then maybe we should put it out for bid, so that at least this situation on Robin Hood can get done, and in the meantime, we can have the county working on lining up to do Stephen F. Austin next, and then we can see where we are for priority
That's
3
probably
after
gonna
that.
be- That's probably gonna be the
Yes.
plan.
And my dad's been working with his contractors on trying to get some of the city stuff done.
Right, that's why we're just saying, we're talking to some of the people, trying to get some of the stuff done.
Now it just needs to quit raining long enough to where we can get out there and do it.
So is it possible maybe to get a bid for the next meeting for us to approve? Or look at, or list just under,
If I'm not
I would hope
mistaken-
that the county could make it out before another month is passed.
Do what now?
You don't think the county's gonna be able to get out before another month is passed?
I mean, I would have to talk to my boss.
Well, I'm gonna put
I'm
myself
on-
in front of the drainage the county drainage committee meeting on their next meeting.
When we go on Monday, I'll talk to my boss and see if we can hurry something up with it, but, I mean, at that part, I couldn't answer.
Be forever in your debt if you did.
Well, I'll do this Monday and see, I don't know if he can do anything to it, because I mean,
We had David Linder here at the meeting and everything, we talked to him too.
because, I mean, the thing about it is, in reality, to change them culverts out, it's not gonna take a half a day. I mean, it's not gonna take that long to do if we just get the equipment out here.
Right, but maybe, like I'm saying, maybe we should put out a bid and see what that's gonna cost to get done, not have it bog down the county's schedule anymore, because they've got a lot that I see them out here in Jones Creek. They were on Scout, they're on 304, they're doing a lot of work out here. But if we get a contractor to come and work on Robin Hood, then the county's next job in Jones Creek could possibly be Stephen F. Austin.
You wanna
That's
talk to
what
the
I'm
board?
asking.
You wanna talk to the,
If you could talk to the
I can get with a couple
contractor,
contractors.
and if we
Get
could
us
get
a
a
bid.
couple of bids to look at, it might be unrealistic, but maybe it isn't unrealistic, and then we can get this moving
we got a
quicker.
plan, so let's go.
So, does somebody wanna make a motion to, get bids on doing what's on Robin Hood Lane?
I'll make a motion that we go get bids for what work needs to be done on Robin Hood Lane, I guess better known as Priority 1 on the drainage project.
I'll second it.
Terry seconded, all in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries.
Okay.
I'd like to say that, I know Joel Schweitzer has equipment, and I'd like to ask if it could be considered he do the drainage work on Robin Hood. At our park.
That may be a conflict of interest.
Well, it's something
He's
to
on the
consider
committee.
right up top.
The next item is discuss, consider building security and additions. On the building security, I'm gonna take the bad part of this is, I was trying to get that done before I went in for my knee surgery, and I thought my right knee was gonna be like my left one, and ended up I ain't been to work, and I shouldn't even be here tonight because there's an infection in it. But I should be out all right in about a week where I can get a hold of the guy and have him come up here. Have we got any bids or anything on the additions yet?
Well, we did have the one from Mason or
Mason
Tucker.
Howard gave us a bid, correct?
I thought he did submit a bid. I thought,
I
know
thought
he was
Kimberly,
going
We need
to,
to
but
try to get
I
another one.
I was not aware that it came in.
I'll make a motion that we table this discussion until our next meeting so that we
Second.
can find out if we have bids.
We got a motion for, second, and all in favor? All opposed?
Who seconded?
Corey?
I did.
Okay, the next item is discuss and consider extending temporarily allowing recreational vehicles in the flood impact area from Hurricane Harvey recovery. Do we have any out?
How many do we have?
As far as I know, just one.
Are they doing
That's at
any
the
work
very-
on their home?
That part I couldn't tell you.
Has there been any,
Marshall, do you know?
We're not working on
They're not?
do they have any plans to work on their home, or do they plan to live in the
it.
RV for eternity?
I couldn't really answer that.
It's unknown.
Well, my suggestion would be, should that, if it's just one residence, maybe he can come in and request a variance from the zoning board and see if we can work that way.
Would that be the zoning board or would that come?
That'd be the zoning
That would
board.
be the zoning board would have to give them, or recommend to give permission for them to
And then it would
continue.
have to-
Yeah, being there's only one person,
Yeah.
Being that there's only one, I
Right.
think that we
put it in
should
form of motion.
not.
I'll put it in a formal motion. Residents should request a variance on individual basis through the city hall and zoning board.
Terry seconded, all in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? All right, under new business, discuss, consider, submit a question from resident regarding agreement with the Proxair for the hydrogen pipeline installation beneath Primrose. Okay, I don't know how y'all wanna do this, but we're gonna try to keep this, we've answered all the questions, and we've got people from Proxair and Wood Group here to answer
You wanna
them.
come up and ask your question?
I would like to start with what I've actually learned. Yeah, and I'll move this out of the way so that I don't have to back to a whole bunch of people. So, I already submitted questions to y'all. I have since learned a lot about Jones Creek and a lot about Primrose. And, so the very first form that I would like to read to you, I'm not going to read the whole thing, I'm just gonna read the very first tiny bit of the paragraph because it predates Jones Creek becoming Jones Creek. So I learned that, Primrose used to be County Road 246. And when the county actually maintained it, before Jones Creek became Jones Creek, the county's only allowed certain things. As you know, if you work for the county, they're only allowed to do certain things with those easements. So when the easement is originally created, those are set out as to what you're allowed to do in those easements. And nothing can be changed from that point on. Just because the city annexed it in, does not mean the city gets more rights to it than was originally granted. So in June 10th, 1946, this certified that we, Miss W.L. Walters and L.C. Morrison, owners of tract 35.72 acres land out of Stephen F. Austin, 7 1/3 lead grant abstract 20 in Brazoria County, Texas, have caused the same to be surveyed, platted, subdivided according to the plat and plan and subdivision, which is known as Peach Crest North Side Subdivision. I just lost my process, I'm sorry. Subdivision as part of Stephen F. Austin 7 1/3 League Grant Abstract 20, and we hereby dedicate to the public the use of the roads as shown thereon for road purposes only. So, I have a ton more paperwork that I know y'all do not want to listen to. I did come up and get the minutes, Kimberly's not here, but point is to you, sorry. I did come up and get the minutes so that I could read over it because I wasn't present at the meeting that Praxair came to because proper notification wasn't given by the city.
What do you mean, properly?
But yeah,
we
it was
give
on
them
the
notice at
agenda
5 days.
as required.
Yeah.
So, I actually have paperwork for y'all that I would love to hand out to y'all. I don't know if I'm allowed to actually hand paperwork out to you or if somebody else would like to hand it to you. Am I allowed to hand y'all
Oh,
paperwork?
yeah, I mean, yeah.
Okay. So, I got a copy for every single one of y'all. This is from my attorney. And the violations that the city has made in agreeing to a contract with Praxair. So in it, while y'all are reading, I'll just give a real brief description. It's not in compliance with the Texas Open Meeting Act and the right-of-way. Y'all stated that discussion and consider of right-of-way agreements with Praxair Incorporated. Insufficient. Whenever Kimberly introduced Praxair, she stated that she was shocked. Whenever they came in, she thought he was coming in for some kind of a permit, and he actually asked for easement rights on Primrose. Primrose was never listed. Y'all knew beforehand that it was going to be going on that easement, and you left that out. There's plenty of people here from Primrose that would have gladly been here had proper notification been given. So the second thing is lack of authority based on the nature of the easement. It states in the legal terms from June 10th, 1946, which is attached to this, that it is for road purposes only. Whenever I talk to city engineer or county engineer, down in Angleton, the only things that are specified that the county are allowed to do to a county road is resurfacing a road. Whenever somebody calls in and complains about potholes, something's going on. If there's any kind of a drainage issue, they will redig the ditches. They're also allowed to run utilities. Pipeline for hydrogen is not a utility, nowhere.
Okay, so on that, so when you leave here, you pass Primrose, that turns into county.
Okay,
So once you pass that, 301, that's also county.
okay,
Pipelines are going under that road,
I
and that's a
understand that.
county road.
That's not Peachcrest Homesite. Peachcrest Homesite has specific statements for their easements. It's a 60-foot easement from a foot, my side of the telephone pole, your side of the telephone pole, to a foot the other side of the telephone pole. The only thing that those easements are allowed for Peachcrest Homesite is for land use only, road use only.
Well, that's true, there would be no natural gas pipe to any house on Primrose.
Exactly.
That's right.
That's a utility.
Yes, it is.
That's a utility.
still a
It's
pipeline.
listed. No, that is a utility to a home. That is listed in there.
You don't leave
Totally
close to a
different.
pipe, you
It's
run over a
totally
pipe
different.
every day right across your driveway.
It's totally different than a hydrogen pipeline. And if you continue to keep reading, you'll also see that it states on here that on September 9th, 1981, Brazoria County adopted a policy regarding petroleum pipeline crossing, including among things, and the language is, under no circumstances will a pipeline be installed parallel to a county road. A copy of the minutes are in here. It's specific to hydrogen.
That's not a county road anymore,
I understand that.
it's a city road.
I know that.
So,
It's
I mean, I understand that,
Still. Beechcrest Homesite County Road
Beechcrest
246.
but it's no longer.
No longer county road.
You're
It's like
absolutely right,
pipeline.
it's no longer county road, but the city doesn't get any more jurisdiction than the county was originally given. Whenever the city becomes a city and they annex the property in, they still have to abide by the original deed.
Is
when
this the minutes
property
right
got
here?
planted. Yep.
And you have that highlighted or where?
The attorney highlighted it for y'all.
Where did you find this? Online?
Oh, I actually found it at the county clerk's office. It's really amazing what you can find there. A little bit of research.
It's really hard to read.
Oh, yeah, well, it's because it's from 1946. We go back to all the way to 1909 when it was actually Perry's property. It's handwritten.
I mean, I don't know, because some of the stuff that's in here, I don't know if it would make it, valid or not.
Excuse me, may I make a comment?
Yeah, go ahead.
The hydrogen is not considered a petroleum product.
Okay.
I mean, the second paragraph, second, third paragraphs on that is what I'm
Okay.
referring to. So, I don't know how that would stand. I guess we would have to give this to our attorney.
Yeah, I mean, that's
Let
down
me
to
look
the
it
bottom
over.
line. I mean, I can tell you what's gonna happen, but she is, been retained, this lawyer's been retained by her. I'm making a suggestion that we just kinda, until we get with our attorney and our legal department, just kinda, we have to get answers for this before we file or anything else, or answer anything else, so that way we won't be liable for anything.
And I believe he's already been contacted,
Hmm?
the attorney.
Ours? Not that I know of, because I just talked to him and asked him to verify everything, that we did everything right yesterday.
Well, I was in my attorney's office today when he handed me the rest of his paperwork, and he said, as a courtesy, I'll be contacted.
Well, he had to talk to him because he's out of town,
Okay.
because I contacted him on his mobile phone, so I mean, I don't know how he was contacted. I'm not trying to, I'm just,
I know.
because I
He
want
just
to make
said
sure I
when I
had all
was
your
reading it.
answers, because I want to make sure everything you're told is correct. I don't want to lie to you or anything.
Absolutely.
And, so, I mean, I think our only deal is right now, and as bad as I know we've got everybody here, I just don't know what the legal part of it is, if we ought to go anything further while she's got this lawyer retained.
All it really says, if you look at the third to last page, under case 1, new crossings, all it states is, petroleum pipelines. Doesn't say anything about non-petroleum.
Okay, well, this is the same exact paperwork that he got from the district attorney when they went against Matagorda for the exact same thing.
Okay. And I don't know if they filed anything with the county. mean,
I have no idea.
I would
I
assume.
know that the
You
county
don't
has
got
been
permits?
contacted whenever I contact them.
We're applying for permits, we're preparing drawings for that.
Okay.
How big a pipeline is this gonna be and how much pressure? And how many pipelines you gonna put on it?
We're only putting one pipeline in, and it's 14 inch.
Non-exclusive.
14 inch, how much pressure?
How much what?
Pressure?
It's tested at 1160, I believe, it's gonna be running 80.
80 pounds pressure?
Yes, sir. And
How deep is that gonna be?
It'll be 20 foot deep from before the time it crosses 36 until after it crosses 301.
And y'all only gonna put one in there?
Yes, sir.
I have a question. I thought that wording in that agreement was non-exclusive.
It is.
That means you can put more than one, correct?
No.
No.
But I would do that,
That's for us.
That's
Yeah,
for us.
that means the city can agree.
Wait a minute, wait a minute.
they can only put
They
one
can only put
pipeline.
one. We can put-
There's only
This
one
time,
pipeline being.
what about next time?
Yeah.
Well,
That's for somebody else.
I mean, that would be decision down the road, but this is only, there's not gonna be, I mean, that's only one. They don't have just automatically being able to put however many they want to in there.
Right.
This is just for, the deal that was signed was for one pipeline. It was to be 20 foot on the ground, which is way more than the federal regulations require, more than the depth is gonna be by the school that they already have permission for, more than it's gonna be crossing Highway 36.
Right.
I mean, I overkilled the depth and everything when we discussed the deal, because I wanted to make sure everybody, because I know a lot of people on Primrose, I mean, you know, and also, I mean, we need to get, I'm not sure, I'm not a lawyer, so I don't know. I think we need to get a hold of our lawyer in contact, but I just want to tell y'all something. I know everybody's upset about the hydrant. I wasn't my first thing here, but I have studied the deal on this ever since the people walked in the door. people that work out in the plants, I test with hydrogen and nitrogen mix, never had a problem, never had an explosion with hydrogen. Hydrogen molecules, I'm safer with the hydrogen molecules than I am anything else, because hydrogen molecules, as fast as they escape from the ground, if they do escape, they're out of the atmosphere. They're part of a good green gas thing, because we've got hydrogen molecules in our air as it is. I mean, I'm safer with hydrogen personally than I am natural gas. Natural gas leak will just sit everywhere else, and I don't wanna get arguing about who's pro, con on all that, but sometimes natural gas and other things sit and float on the ground and can cause an explosion. But I mean, I think right now what we ought to do is just, kind of table this, or make a recommendation to table this and get this, since it is from a lawyer, and get it to our attorney, and then go from there and get everything situated.
Wait a minute, I have a question for the gentleman over here.
Yes, sir.
We have pipelines all over the county. There's raw pipelines adjacent to here. The normal route that all these companies have traditionally taken is through ranch land and pasture land. Why all of a sudden do we have to come through the middle of a community to run a pipeline?
I got two sets of pipelines, I live next to him, at 3 acres, I got 2 sets of pipelines on the back of my property. Now, when it comes time to sign the papers to buy that property, they have to stop, and so they could go measure the distance between there and my house, which it was okay. Now you're gonna put a pipeline 75 foot in front of my house. What the hell, where's somebody gonna come and buy my house, or they got a pipeline right here at your front door? I don't like it.
Well, my question is, why do you have to pick a route through a community when all you have to go is about 700 or 800 feet to the southwest and use a traditional route used with the other pipelines that are not even in the city limits? Can you handle that?
No, to be honest with you, so.
Or do you want to answer that?
No, I mean, I'm part of more of the pipeline operations side, so we bring in consultants, that's what they do right away acquisitions would be one of our partners. And so, they're looking for, obviously, I mean, to be honest, we prefer to be away from the communities, like, even though we have a very safe.
It makes more sense to me.
Yeah, but it all depends.
Pipelines in the ranch land or the pasture
Okay.
land.
Well, anyway, I think we need to go ahead, we've got everything to do, we need to get with our attorney before we go any further this, answer any other questions, and then get this back on the deal and get it answered from him, and go on to the next thing before we say anything else.
Well, I make a motion that we table this until we discuss it.
I mean, we don't have to take any kind of action. She just submitted questions, we had said questions answered.
Not answering that.
I mean, did you get a copy of the,
No, nobody answered any of the questions.
do you wanna give her the
Yes.
good
I
copy?
think that we should wait until we
Wait,
discuss
I
it with
I
our
think we
attorney.
just need to get
With our attorney, you're right.
Yeah, I mean,
So see, I think it's very interesting that y'all are willing to wait and discuss it with attorney and table it now, but when they came in and they waived $275,000 in front of y'all's face, y'all were perfectly fine with accepting it without tabling it and doing more research, because there's actually a notice with the county from 2006 that they won't do any work to a road with said kind of pipeline underneath it. All you gotta do is pull it up online.
We do work over road
Hydrogen pipelines?
Any kind of pipeline. I mean, we do work over any kind of road pipeline. We just have to have, pipeline personnel there while we're doing it. We
Do
just
they
did
traditionally
so.
run it right down through the subdivision?
Yeah.
No, they cross underneath the
cross
road.
I mean, they can, which it's however,
I don't know
whoever
about
says the pipeline can go.
I know I can tell you from being in the fire department that some of these pipelines have been there a long time and you never know they were there. And they'll build, and they will build a subdivision right over the top of them. Just so y'all know. If you get that map, and, cause I just went to a pipeline class here recently, I saw Mobile pay for us for a whole weekend, and you learn some pretty interesting stuff. But if you get that map per each, maybe petroleum, maybe who knows what, but one pipeline may have petroleum go through it 1 minute, and the next minute it may have H2S behind it, it may have something else behind that. You never know what they're gonna put through there. But, I mean, as far as pipelines, they're already down I mean, who knows, you can probably be over a pipeline right now. I mean, but going through that class, the manufacturers, there's pipelines all over the place. You may not think there is. Sir?
They're all over Georgia County.
Yes, sir, but I'm just stating that they're already there, is what I'm saying.
First one through the city limits of Jones Creek.
Correct, but they're talking about now. What I'm saying is, there may be subdivisions already now with pipelines.
Oh, absolutely.
All right, we're gonna go ahead, until we contact our lawyer, we're gonna go to the next item to get back with her on this at a later date, so we can get what's going on. Under new business, item B, discuss, consider an ordinance adopting the fiscal year 2019-2020 budget that we've been going over.
I make a motion that we, go ahead and adopt the budget, the ordinance.
We got a motion for, we got a second. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries. Okay, next item C is discuss and consider ordinance adopting a tax rate for fiscal year 2019 to 2020.
Okay, I move that the property tax rate be increased by the adoption of a tax rate of 0.411289, which is effectively a 5.1% increase in the tax rate.
Need a second? Second.
We got a motion for, we got a second, all in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Okay, discuss, consider interlocal agreement with the Missouri County Road and Bridge Services.
This is what we do every year, right?
Yeah, I mean, same thing.
Make a motion, we approve it.
I'll second.
Corey.
We got a motion for, we got a second, all in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Next item, discuss and consider resolution 09-2019B, amending permit fee schedule to include drainage permit fees.
I make a motion that we accept this resolution.
I'll second it.
We got a motion for, Glenn second, all in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries. Item F, discuss, consider residents' request for lowering of speed limit and or installing a children at play sign on Meadow Lane.
I motion we make a committee together to, cause I know there's issues on all the side streets. I think we need to get a committee and get all the side streets that we wanna try to get changed all at once instead of doing one here and there. And,
What is the speed limit on that road?
they're all 30, right? Am I correct, Mr. Tidwell?
That's correct.
All 30, and I think on some of these side roads, that's way too fast.
So you made a motion to.
Were we making a motion to,
To form a committee?
So
I'll
are we
second.
gonna try,
Oh, I'm sorry.
Go
Go
ahead.
ahead, Corey.
Go ahead.
so are we just gonna go down every road and change speed limits, or?
That's for the committee to find out, to look at all the roads and stuff like
And I
that, and find out
understand
which
Meadow
ones we
Lane's
want.
a dead end lane, road, isn't it?
Yeah, it is.
But we have that issue throughout the city.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know if it'll change anything. I mean, they're speeding and doing it 30. Is it gonna change it from,
I mean,
for somebody
speed
doing
limit's 30 on
30
Primrose.
or 20 on a, I don't know if that's gonna make a change, but,
You can put it at 10, they're still gonna go 50.
yeah, so I don't know. That's,
Who requested it?
This was, Ally Bradford.
She here?
She's not here tonight.
Would we have to do like some kind of study with that? Cause I know if you wanna do that on state, you would have to get a
You're supposed to do that.
study.
yeah.
So I guess we would have to even,
that's what he's talking about getting, I
So
guess
does
you're talking
this-
about getting the committee
Together
together.
and get a study done and all that stuff, I guess. I don't know how that would work.
I mean,
I think that I'd like to ask Marshall Tidwell's opinion. I mean, you are patrolling these streets. Do you think that lowering the speed limit to 20 is gonna make a difference on Meadow Road, or do you think they're still going to speed on Meadow Road?
I'm sure they're still gonna speed, but I agree with Mr. Jordan. 30 miles an hour on some of these streets are way too fast.
Okay, so then.
Kids we have playing,
Yeah.
such as that.
Okay, then we can go ahead and move forward with the motion.
Then I'll second the motion to form the committee.
Who wants to be, you know,
I'd like to,
okay, you get it
Well, we're
ready?
gonna put
Marshall Tidwell needs to be on it.
children a play sign up there or what?
No, they're talking about doing, getting the
Looking
committee
at,
together.
looking at lowering the speed limit.
So that would be a street committee,
Yeah,
pretty much.
street committee, Brandy would be, well, I don't know if Brandy would be.
I don't think I'd have anything to do with
We
that.
need
No,
to,
but I think the marshal, sure.
yeah.
Anybody want to
Maybe
volunteer?
Mike Noska, would you, might be interested in something like that?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Thought you would be.
Yes, ma'am.
All right.
So that's 3,
How many
How
do
many
you
would
want?
we need on the,
4 or 5 at least, I would
Five.
say. And if we want to get back with some nominations, we can.
Can we do that?
Yeah, I mean, we can do that, we can
Yeah, we
we
might
can
wanna
vote
ask
on
Ms.
doing
Bradford
committee.
if she's interested
Right.
in being on that committee, being that she brought it to us.
right. So we can post it on the web, or.
Post it on the webpage,
Yeah.
because
So
there's
in the
something,
meantime, do we
well,
want to
something we're bringing up
start with
next.
Mr. Noska and,
Yeah, well, once we get everybody's name down, then we can contact them for the next meeting, and then they can start doing that.
Do you have to have a committee to install a slow children at play sign?
I don't think you need a committee, but that's, I mean, that would fall under this committee though.
To get it all done at one time.
Right.
To check all the roads that need to be done and try, if we need to get them done, get them all done at one time.
Yeah, because you're gonna spend money to get, it's gonna cost a lot of money for street signs and get these speed limits changed. Might as well do it all at once instead of doing here and there.
That way, because if you do have to get a study done, you can get it on, give them a list of roads, and
Right.
they can do what they need to.
Okay, so we got a motion forward to the committee, and then we got a second.
Glenn was the motion, Nicole was the second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Okay, discuss and consider an ordinance establishing the Jones Creek Beautification Commission.
I know Nikki's been working on this a lot.
Brandy and I have done a lot of work putting this, ordinance together to form the, Keep Jones Creek Beautiful Committee, which is what we're calling it. We've, been in contact with, Keep Texas Beautiful, and we've gotten a lot of ideas on how we can, implement some programs in the city. If this ordinance does get passed, things that this committee will be able to work on, such as tire takebacks and, cleanup crews and, recycling days and things that the school can be involved in as well. That we can
Volunteer
partner
programs
with,
to
and a
help
lot of
with.
volunteer programs.
People that can't get out in motor yards, et cetera.
Things that we can put together to help our residents that need someone to come and rake their leaves, mow their lawn.
I make a motion, we approve the
I
ordinance.
make that we put them two right there on the committee, and then they can get some other people.
Well, that'd
I don't know
be
that I
next.
can be on it, we do something.
Yeah,
That's
you're
next.
an employee, that's what we can
Yeah.
discuss.
I can do it as an
Yeah.
employee.
And there is a motion on the floor.
We got a motion forward, we got a second.
Me.
Oh,
Glenn and Corey?
Yeah.
all in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Okay, well, the next deal is what we're working on.
I think that we should open it up to
Yeah.
community members, but
Right.
we do need to have a city council member and an employee of the village
So-
on the, committee.
So we can put it on the website.
Yes, we can put it on our website.
Well, that's gonna be kind of the next item here, discuss, consider appointing members to the Jones Creek Beautification Commission. So I guess what we need to do is we'll put it on the website, on the Facebook or whatever, and see if there's any volunteers, and,
There's gotta be 5, I believe.
Yes, we have to have 5.
We should probably do a cutoff date of about the 8th. That way we can compile the list and bring it
For the next meeting.
for the next meeting.
okay.
have a what, a cutoff date by when?
By October 8th. Do we need to do anything here, or can we?
Need a motion.
Do we need to
No.
make a motion here?
No, there's just,
Because we're not,
No
just
action
the,
has to be
we'll get
taken,
back,
so
we'll get that information and make sure that.
Yeah, I mean, we
they'll
can-
Get back to us by the 8th.
we can come back to that on future and just put it on next month's agenda.
Okay, discuss, consider appointing 4 alternate members to the Board of Adjustments. Don't have any idea who anybody'd wanna, I mean, or anybody names to,
Do you know who's on it now?
personally, I
AJ
would-
Jenkins has expressed interest in being appointed to that.
Well, there's one.
And you could put that on the website too, I guess, as.
And if they, then, yeah. Put that on the website.
Well,
So should we,
Why is it
appoint
on,
AJ?
why is it on our agenda? Are we having a problem with getting enough people together to have the meetings, or?
I think that is the problem,
apparently-
yes.
apparently so.
that is the problem.
And I don't think board, or Alderman can be on that.
No.
No.
Is, am I understanding correctly that in the ordinance for, the zoning
I mean, we
board
could
and
even
for
go
the,
longer. I mean,
Board of
the next
Adjustments, it
meeting,
does say
the sixth-
something about
October
the
16th.
absences, if they're absent a certain amount of times from me, or if they do
15th,
not attend a meeting a certain amount of times, that the
Yeah, okay.
council can,
I think there is.
replace them. Is that in the?
I'm pretty sure it is, we can look at
Do
the
you
ordinance,
have
but
the
it's
Okay,
ordinance?
same as us.
I don't have the ordinance in front of me, but I think that that's something that we, as a council, might wanna look into, because we're having trouble, with some of our boards, with,
Show it up.
with people not showing up. So we might, if that's not in the ordinance, we may wanna look at putting it in the ordinance, for accountability. You know, if you miss 3 meetings, then unfortunately, we're going to have to find someone else to
Right.
replace you. But in the meantime, we do need to have alternates, so that our meetings can happen and have a quorum.
Well, what we need is a list of the people that own it.
And get verified from them, like you're saying, or
Hmm?
be
Yeah,
verified, if they're gonna
verify.
be on it or not, or?
Yeah.
Do we know how many members of that committee there are, Gordon?
I'm gonna be honest, I think.
Are there,
I would
and
say
are there
5.
5 people
5.
sitting in those seats right now?
Yes.
If you have it.
I make a motion, we move on to the next line item, we can come back to this.
Yes.
I'll second.
Hold on.
I'll mark it down for Terry.
You already got it.
Oh,
He's already got it.
Now, there's already a motion made.
yeah, let's, okay.
We got a motion to move on to the next line item, we got a second. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Discuss, consider, Terry made a motion?
I did.
Terry.
Who seconded? Glenn?
Next item, discuss, consider resolution 09-2019A, nominating 2 members to the Missouri County Appraisal Board of Directors.
Is there a time limit we have to have this turned in by?
Before October 15th?
Yeah.
We have to do it today.
How many people we need?
2.
Would anybody like to? Jim Hardesty would be one.
Was that an affirmation? I think he just like wrinkled his nose.
Volunteering him already?
Yeah. Anybody else?
What is this?
What is the
What do they do?
responsibilities?
It's just going, appraisal board, I guess.
So what it is?
And it's not guaranteed that you're gonna
Right.
be put on.
They still have to be voted on
Right,
through here.
right.
So we're just nominating two that could be
To
voted
go.
on and might
Right.
get.
And they
I
have,
don't know
do they
either.
have, do they have to be,
They don't have to be president, they can nominate them.
Yeah, that'd be.
I don't know of anybody else. I don't know.
agent?
AJ Jenkins also.
I can talk him into that.
Yeah.
Yeah, AJ Jenkins and, I don't think that was a serious.
So did we get two?
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah, we gotta make a resolution,
Yeah.
adopt a resolution.
Yeah,
where's it at?
how
But
many
they're on
names do we have to
property.
give?
Two right here,
We only have to give them two, because
right
they're.
under where it says nomination.
Right.
We must adopt a resolution nominating one, well, in that case, two
Mhm.
candidates by formal action.
Right.
Okay, Brandy, do you have this? Because I believe that you would need to fill this,
Yeah.
or Kim would need to fill this out.
Kim will. Thank you.
Who we got, AJ Jenkins and who?
Jim Hardesty.
Jim Hardesty.
What do we have to do?
I make a motion that we adopt a resolution nominating AJ Jenkins and Tim Hardesty as nominees from Jones Creek for the chief appraiser position.
I'll second that.
Possibility.
You can
Okay.
throw my name in that hat if you want.
Who was it?
That'll get you, that'll get
Angie.
you free.
Angie Taylor,
Okay, so that'll doesn't work out.
three. Do we need to amend the, wait, I make a motion that we amend Terry's motion to include Angie Taylor as one of our, representatives.
Second.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
All opposed?
Before we go on to the next one, I'm making a motion, we go back to line item, I.
I'll second it.
Okay, so it looks like, we have 5 people that are on the Board of Adjustments already, so I think that we need to reach out to them, see if they still have the interest level in being involved. And then maybe revisit this at the next meeting after they're reached out to decide if we want to.
So you wanna postpone it till next
Yeah,
council meeting?
Terry, what are you gonna?
Who are they?
It's, Bill McNutt, Dana Chilcote, John Rice, Brent Pittman, and Brett Robertson.
We can probably give you a copy of that too.
Yeah. And I'll bring it up under a future item.
We got a first, and we got a second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Let's see here. Discuss, consider designation of representative and alternate to the HGAC 2020 General Assembly.
I nominate, Dustin Wright and, Nikki Hardesty.
I'll second it.
We got a motion for, we got a second, all in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Where do we go? We need
You gave them proxy.
There you go.
Open one.
So who is the officer?
Okay, so
Okay, our next item is discuss and consider appointing an officer to a vacant full-time position.
Y'all better take a look at it. He had to go.
What do you mean he had to go?
He had to go.
Well,
Oh, you
I-
need John call?
He had to have something urgent.
Well, I already know that he just wanted to replace an officer with another officer, one
Yeah.
guy's
There
leaving.
was one officer that was full-time and he's
Yeah.
going into part-time.
Right.
And they're gonna replace him with a full-time
Right.
officer.
Yes.
Everything's the same, it's just the people are gonna change, but I didn't know what the
yeah,
names
this is
were.
already a part-time
Right.
officer that's now gonna become full-time.
Who, which officer?
Man.
Is it 100%? I heard rumors, I can't say for sure. I've
Make
never
a
been
motion,
to a
make a
dress
motion
code, so I
to
don't
table
know.
it till next meeting.
Okay.
We can find out for sure.
All right, we got a motion for, we got a second. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Next meeting.
Who seconded?
Glenn.
Okay, future agenda items.
I would like to look at the ordinances for both the zoning, commission and the, Board of Adjustments and see what the wording is in there about, members that miss meetings, how many meetings
Oh,
they
okay.
might miss before, we then will appoint somebody else to that. I wanna see that that's in there.
Drainage.
Bring the thumb drive to Kim, and she can download all ordinance and give it to you.
Okay.
That's what we should do,
What is it, bring a thumb drive, download it?
you have all ordinance, you got me that.
Okay. Yeah, I know, I'm trying to look
In our usual drainage, see what we're gonna get done on the project number
Yeah,
one.
we'll, have a bid, hopefully have a couple of bids to look at and discuss at the next meeting.
Right.
Bids
For
are
drainage.
good.
And we'll get with the attorney and need to, revisit
Cracks there.
the cracks there.
Right there.
And we'll also be appointing people for beautification,
Bring up all the committees again.
all the committees, yeah.
And appointing the officers.
And appoint this officer, yes.
Right. Make a motion, we adjourn.
I second it.
Got a motion for, got a second, all in favor?
Aye.